Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. Pursuing the sandpiper as usual. We're moving on. We had detailed the head and got that all done. And we did rows coming back in the last video. It should look like this. Okay. So you have a good idea in how that should look. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pursue on. I'm going to show you how to do the mantle, which is right in here. And then we're going to go right into the breast from the throat down. And then we're going to relieve the breast. And I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? So let's see how far we get. I may just do like the mantle and the throat. And then as we go down, we are actually going to lift feathers, okay? They're going to be very... sort of showy in a sense. For those who want reality, that isn't the way it is. They're very smooth, but I'm exaggerating a little bit in the breast area to make them look better, okay? And I'm telling you that up front. So I just want to let you know that, and it's nothing that it's been done, and it happens a lot, so that we can enhance the feathers that are in the area that we're trying to do. Okay, so, it's not like we're doing trickery here or anything like that. It's just, it makes the bird more interesting, and that's all I'm trying to do, okay? Like I said in the beginning before, because somebody had questioned about me putting these bumps in and things like that for the shaping. And that is done, but it's to enhance the look of the bird. And most birds are smooth as can be, and there's a million feathers all over the place. We take license on how much we show and don't show, because you couldn't get them all in anyway, even if you tried, and it doesn't look any better. So I'm just going to show you some of the things I do, and if you'd like to change them, you could do that too. I'll give you some alternative ways of approaching the breast area as we go. So feel free to, do something different than I'm doing. But I'm trying to give you different options. And when I get done, I think the enhancements we add to the bird, okay, and it doesn't take it away. So just want to give you that as a heads up. And for those who may be following me, I hope you enjoy this video. And if you would, just to keep my count going for YouTube and so on, I'd appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up. And if you would subscribe to my channel, that would be great. It really helps. And if you have friends that may be interested in doing the same thing that I'm showing, please pass my information on. I greatly appreciate that as well too. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to bring the camera down so that you can see what I'm trying to develop in the mantle and in the throat area. I think that would be the best thing to start. And then I'll take you in more depth maybe on the next video into the full breast when we get right on down to the rump. And then we're really starting to get close to starting to prep it for painting here pretty soon. You know what I mean? We got the beak done, the head basically is done, and the feathering. So we're moving on. So bear with me, and hope you're enjoying the information I'm giving you, and we'll see how we make out. So hang on. Okay, what I'm going to ask you to do is just to put a couple lines in. Let me take some out. I'm saying put them in, and I'm taking them out. From under the throat here down, I'm going to ask you if you can get your ruler and come down 1 inch from the throat. Doesn't have to be so like a wrap or anything like that. Just come in here, say from here to here. I'm just going to ask you to put a line real light, because this is just an area I want to do certain techniques as far as feathering. And then we're going to change and do lifting as we go down on this one. On this side, I'm going to ask you to also, from where we left off on the burning up here, I'm going to ask you to come down. Let's see if I got this right. About an inch down from the burn. So where your last feather is here, about an inch down, which should take you, if you're looking for a ballpark anyway, this is where the wings started here. If you just draw a line sort of light through there, this is where we're going to change the feathering. We're going to do a similar feather up here and a different one down here. So I just want to let you know that. So I'm going to continue on with the feathering that's coming down off the top of the head and let you see how I develop that. And as we go down, these were like elongated feathers in a sense. You know, the whole feather is like this. It's sort of like stretched. We're going to make them sort of regular C's almost, okay? So, in fact, let me see what I'm seeing, or should be seeing. I'm putting it on my optivisor, which is my magnifiers, and it helps me see better, okay? So I'm going to come in here, and off of this, I'm going to make a C, okay? And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm not going to get real big in the beginning, but as we come down, you'll notice I get a little bigger on each one. And I'm going to take, let's see how we do this. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. This size C isn't real big, so we're going to stay with that one, maybe a little bit bigger. And right there. Now, just to get in under the cheek area here, I'm going to do it this way. I think this is a good way to establish some of it that's going. I'm going to start my C right in here. And these, I guess, are more elongated. They're going to be like these rather than these back here. Let me state that. So I'm going to get it a little longer here, and then a little longer, getting wider. Now, right about here, I'm going to go back to what I call a C, like this, and not as stretched out as it is in here. Then I'll put another elongated one right in here just to complete these two, because I don't want a full elongated one all the way back to here. Now I'm going to put a C right here, and a C here. And again, most of these C's, I'm trying to aim them, not always, but a lot of times, to the point of the beak, so that the beginning and the end of the C, the middle of the C is pointing at the beak, but that's not always the case. Now, I'm going to come back here. Let me come on this side. And we'll get a C in there. A C in there. C here. And one right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to put one more here. Now, they're all pretty much the same size. Now, on the next one, they increase a little bit more, okay? Just a little bit. They get a little, like, bigger, in a sense, okay? And if you get a little crazy and make a bigger one than usual, don't get worried about it. Try to be, you don't want a real big one in there to make it seem odd. And so I'm going to try to increase as I come down here. So I'm coming around here. Now, you're going to see me stretch these out a little bit more. So by the time I hit this 1 inch mark, they're a lot bigger than up here. Okay, we fill this in right here. And then I'm going to pivot one right around here. Pivot one right around here. And I'll get one that just goes past that 1 inch line right there. Okay, now I'll come back to this side, and we have the small feather up here. We have the elongated one coming back here, and we get another one back here, and they get a little more straightened out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more right here, and then I'll pocket and start getting into a C for the rest of them here. Okay. Now, I'm going to start filling in these areas here, like so. I get bigger here, bigger here, and by the time I get to this line back here, we're like that big. Okay, so I hope you can see that well. Now, let me put one more in over here just to complete this one area here. I'm going to come around like this. Probably plop another one right in front of it like this just to get going. Now, in this area, we're going to have pointy feathers. And they're going to start out like this. We don't have to center any of them, but I'm going to drop one right in the middle like this. And I'm going to come in about that long. And that long, just to give you an idea how long that is about a 1/2 inch. Could be a little shy of that. And then I'm going to come the other side and join up. And we're having something that looks like these coming down, okay? They're coming to a point. Then I'll come over here, and I'll stagger another one, almost at the same length. Doesn't have to be. Then I'll come down here and do another one right up to this grouping here. And then we do another one on this side. Plug that in, and then we're going to squeeze this one in. This is definitely going to be a thinner one than the ones I did here. Now, what I'm going to do, let me see what I did. Yeah. I'm going to start making these right in the middle here. These are going to be longer than these. And then I'm going to come back this way, okay? Then I'm going to break this up so it doesn't look like they're all in a row. I'm going to start one out here and then come back. Then I'll start one here and I'll come back like it's going underneath these, okay? Then I have room over here. I feel as though I can stretch one from here to here. Okay, and then I'll take one almost down, but not onto this feather. It'll get close. It'll come down here, and I shoot over there. Then I'm going to fill a short one here. I'm going to come up to the existing feather, and then come back, and then I'll sneak a little one in over here. And then on this side, I'll have this row coming down. I'll sneak one in right here like it's popping out, okay? So this takes care of the mantle area right in here. Now, let's go for the throat. As everybody says, let's go for it. So here we go. Here's our center line for the beak coming down, and here's our 1 inch from about here to here. You could be 1.25 inches. It's not critical. It's what you want to cut it off at and how far you want to go in. Now we're going to come right in here, and I'm going to make a small C right in here. Then I'm going to come off the middle of that one and make another small C and another small C on this side, like this, but it didn't quite come to the center of that. Then I get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and get a little bit bigger as I come out. And I start. But you don't want to do the ring around the rosy, one after another after another. You want to break them up, you know what I mean? You don't want them looking like there's a 1, 2, 3 as we go. No, you try to do them individually, and there's no sequencing of the loops, if you could possibly do that. Just looks too uniform then. So on the next one here, I'm going to make this one even bigger. And then on this one, I'm going to get it bigger. You can see they start increasing as we come down. And it's a gradual. And you tend to fill the area in to what looks pleasant to the eye too, okay? Because it's got to look somewhat comfortable for you and not something that's exaggerated. Now I'm going to come over on this side and come down like this, and then I'll come over here and make another C that goes right into that. Remember that veined area we put? It's like a wrinkle in there. I'm putting that in. Probably has a technical name. I am not using the technical name, as you can tell. So here we go. I'm going to make this one bigger. And by the way, all this area should have been sanded. Let me give you that. Sanded out either by hand, or you can use these sanders with the mantle. I do have these available for you, or you can use the hand sandpaper. This happens to be a Swiss-made paper. It's cloth bound, and they hold up really well. So I have them available if anybody's interested. Now, coming back, we're getting close to that 1 inch down, so I'm going to try to just pivot this one right onto the line by accident. That has nothing to do about worrying about being exact to that line. In fact, then I'm going to do one more big feather, and this is a C going past that line. There it is right there. So don't feel so critical about that. And then I'll do another one over here. Okay, now we have the whole throat done, and we have a good portion of the mantle. I'm going to put a couple more in here just to fill in an area. And I don't want to get small. You can get a small one in there if you need to, to fill in something. But I'm just, and you see what I mean by C. The C is here to here, and it does have, it should be pointing towards like the top of the head or the beak or something like that. We're sort of radiating out from what's coming off the top of the head down. And that's what we're trying to do. You can't have something that's really angled down this way when we want to go this way. So your C's should be pointing, I always say the beak, but it doesn't have to be exactly the beak, because these would be a little more going that way. And if they go towards the top of the head, it looks like they're radiating out. And that's what we're trying to establish here. Okay, now just getting past this one area right here. I'm just going to put a couple more right in here, like so. And I'm even going to carry another one past the 1 inch mark there, just to show you that it's not so mysterious an area that we can't do something here. We have like a shoulder that's coming up and around here that we developed early in the game, and that goes like from here up to here. And remember, we still had that dip in here, and it rolls up. That shape. I'm going to try to come up into this a little bit more, just up to it, and stop there for the moment, okay? And then I'm just going to throw one more C right in here. So you could see the area that I'm trying to portray here. Hope I didn't go out of camera range. But you can see I increased, elongated ones here, and then they went into C's. And the back of the head is smaller C's getting into bigger C's. You're an inch down from here, and they get pointed. And they start out, about a 1/2 inch long. Then they get a little longer. And then, of course, you got to fit these in to stop running into these. And that's what you're trying to portray there, okay? I'm going to come on this side, and I'm going to throw a C right in here, a C right in here, and then this one can piggyback off of that one. And let's see, I'll throw another C, which will go below the 1 inch line. I just told you not to, but that's okay too. And I'll put one more right here. This is about the 1 inch point from here to here, but we've got some flexibility here. And I'm going to throw maybe another one right in here just to help me out. And one back here. Okay. And I'm going to call that one a day on those. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going, for the rest of the rump area, we're going to lift these feathers. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to concentrate on just these feathers that we put in here. And like we did where we burned in the feathers here, we're not doing them on any of these that I just put in. That's why I want to stop here and then show you. We're going to do similar things that we did before with the feathers above here. These were elongated. These are more in C shape. These are more pointed. And just like we did with these, we did not lift these. We just burned them in darker on the leading edge and lifted as we came out. Same way with what we're doing for the C's. So I turn on my machine, and I get my pen right in up to the leading edge, and I strike down, and then I flare out to the left, and then I flare out to the right. Okay, and I'll come in here. Hope you can see this real well. I tend to drift at times, and I hope I did not do that, because a lot of times then I have to redo the video because I'm drifting out of the range of the camera. But I get so intense to what I'm doing that I forget where I'm at, and I'm showing you how to do this. And if I don't stay in camera range, you ain't seeing it, and it's not helpful that way. That's for sure. Now, I'm going to come up under the throat. Now, one thing I told you is we super glued the beak, okay? And if any of the glue, like see this feather right up in here, that has some glue on it, that's okay. But you do not want to burn so you're looking down on the bird as you're burning and the vapors come straight up. I'm holding the bird out. I'm back here. I'm back further away from the bird. So if the vapors come up, they go straight up. You do not want to smell this or have it get into your eyes. I'm going to do this one right up here. I'm a distance away because the vapors are not good for you at all. They're very harmful. So that's why I say concentrate on making sure all the super glue stayed on the beak. If it does go into a burned area, you can burn it from a distance. You just got to have the piece out here and then you can burn. I don't want anybody putting this under their nose and looking down on this and burning. So I'm holding this away. You'll see some vapors come off besides the burn. And I'm going out on a 45 on the leading edge right up to the beak. Now, the next one doesn't seem to have as much, but I'm trying to protect, because it's a cyanide that comes off the super glue, believe it or not. And I don't have all the facts behind it, but I know it's very dangerous for you, just for that little bit. You know, most of this doesn't have any of the super glue as a problem. But never burn this like you're burning it under your nose, because it's coming up into your eye area, especially around the super glued areas. Okay, keep that in mind whenever you're using it. The vapors are not good for you, both eye-wise and smelling. Now what I'm doing, let me explain, it's the same technique as up here. I'm going to do a larger feather like down here, just so you can see. This is the leading edge. Anything in front of the C doesn't get burned. It's inside that. So I stroke what would be right the middle of the C and I pull it down, okay? Doesn't have to be the whole length. And then I flare out to the left, all along that end, that leading edge, I should say. And that is depressing all along that line. And your hottest tip is when you first put it down, because the heat dissipates afterwards. So I'm radiating out, and that's the trick. It depresses all of the dark area up here, and it makes it look like you lifted this up. And this is the illusion. It gives you a soft look. At the same time, it's relieving the feather. Now I'm going to move upward here on this. So I'm working on this one now. And like I said, you should have had all this sanded before you started. And that helps. It makes everything go better as far as the burn or the look at the end. You know, you have a nice smooth finish when we go to paint and all that too. So I'm flaring out from right to left. Here's another big one again. So I come up here, I strike a line, I push in and lift out. And after a while, you'll learn how to control how much of a burn line you want to get carried. These even down here get marked, but they don't look burnt, and that's fine too. You're trying to depress the area in the beginning, and you're lifting as you come out, and it gives you a great look. It really does. Both I find that some people, after they get done burning the bird, they don't want to paint it because the bird looks good, just burnt if you do it right, you know. But this also enhances the look of the bird when you paint it, because the way we put washes on, it's transparent, and these become shadowy. and show up too. So I'm doing this technique all throughout here. And not going to do everything. I'm going to do just a piece here and a piece there. But this is the technique I want done for all of these feathers in here. Okay, now that's the throat area, and I wanted to concentrate that you do, when you're up burning around the beak and you have super glue, you definitely want to be careful there. So I have one right here, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to get right up to the edge of the beak, but not on the beak. And I'm burning it to the right and then to the left. And if you notice, I'm not covering the whole feather with the stroking of the burn. And it takes some practice for some of you. And other ones, you may have no trouble at all. So it's just an act. And it's a style which I developed a while back, and probably a lot of carvers use, I would think. I was very fortunate to get with my mentor, which was Ernie Mulemat, and he got me started early in the game, and then he stopped teaching for a while, and that's when I started developing. So a lot of what I've learned was from Ernie, and Ernie was like a world-class bird carver, so I got to give him credit to get me off the ground, okay? And everybody has a mentor. It could be anybody, and I'm not the end-all of how to do this, but learn from everybody. Be open-minded. I always say that, because there's always a trick or two that maybe I don't know that you could add to your repertoire of how to produce a real neat bird. Okay? So what we're doing is we're just marching down on these C's here. I'll do a couple on the back here. I'm coming in. I'm doing the same thing. I'm burning on the leading edge, always trying to stay within the feather. Then I go to the left, and then I go to the right, all the way down. And I try not to stroke all the way through the whole feather. Okay, here's like another one right here. So I strike that down. Then I go to the left, and I'm using a pointed. What I'm using right now is an Optima 1 pen. It could be a P12, P12S, or a P5. I think it's P5. Anyway, it's a number 5. And the number 5 is a pointed one, which works just as well. And the P12 is like a knife blade. It's rounded heel. And the P12S is it's a thinner blade. It's really tapered in and smaller. So I want you to come in here and do the same thing. You're coming through, burning on a leading edge, and you flare to the left, following the line work in the front of the feather in front of you, and you're depressing that line, and you're moving out. And if need be, you can always get a block of wood and practice this technique before you go on, so that you have the feel of it. And for some of it, you could do it maybe the first time out. I don't know. But anyway, this is what I want you to do on all of these. Now, the only ones we haven't addressed is these in the middle here, okay? The mantle, you're coming down with all C's, and then you get to these. Now, what I'm going to do on this is, say this pointed feather here, I'm going to come down the middle from the C up here, and I'm going to drag my pencil down, or my pen down. So it's not a quill, but I used that as like these. See, I mark in what looks like a quill, but then I come back up here and I flare out to the left. Okay, and I flare out to the right, following that C that's in front of me. And that's how we do that one. Then we do the next one down, come down to the point. Then I go on a 45, well, sort of like a 45, flaring out to the left, all the way up. And then I do the same thing on the other side. And this is a little different because of the shaping of the feather. Okay. And then I'll do the next one down. It's going to be right here. And I come up here. And I flare out to the left. And I'm burning all the way over to this pointed feather here. And I do the same thing on this one. Okay. And I'll do a couple more just so you're in the ballpark with me. And then I'll burn the right side. And I'll do one more up here, right up by the C. And then I'll do to the left here. Right, I should say. And I'll do one more, okay, which is right up here. Get that one in, and then I come up here. And then I get this over here. And if you miss a spot, you can go right over as long as you're keeping the same direction. Let me just do just this half so you can see it. Now I'm going to drag this one right on down here. Now I have this existing rolling one here, so I'm just going to come in here and just add a little bit right in there. Then this is going to come all the way up to here to reach this other pointed one. And I pull the feather down so it looks like you have that tucked in up there. And then I'll do this one. Okay. And flare to the left. I want to say right, I don't know why. Then I flare to the right on this side. Okay. And if need be, this one I ended up here, I could carry that up a little bit more. Remember, on these, we burnt from the outside in, so I would come back and just bring that up to finish it up. Okay? So now we have a little one right in here, and I'll take that down. Then I burn out to the left, and then I flare to the right. Okay? And you have that whole setup. So if you could do that, that would be great. And then on the next video, I want you to complete all of this with the C setup that we did, even in the throat area, okay? And down to here, this would be great. We finish all of the mantle area in here, even the pointed feathers. You come down and complete that. And just what I did right here, which was like an inch down from there. It could be, you could see I dragged a couple more down in there, and that's fine. Now, what we're going to do in this area here is we're going to lift a lot of these feathers, okay? And we are also, I'm just looking here. Yeah, we're going to do a lot of heavy lifting, very similar to what we did here on these, where these feathers, we're trying to give the illusion that these are laying on top of this. So, but we're going to do that all the way down. So, hope you got something out of this video. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you have a friend, if you would subscribe to my channel, that would be greatly helping me. And if you can pass that on to your friend, that would be great too. If anybody needs anything, I have a catalog available, which gives you the blank, the eyes, the feet, like kits. It gives you everything you need. Or if you just need individual parts, I have that too. I have bits, I have the burners, whatever you may need. So I'm going to give you my email address, which is Rauscher, RAUSCHER, Frank, FRANK, 7 @gmail.com. And if you need to get that, it's also in the body of the description of this video. You'll find it there as well. And if you want to write to me and give me your email, I'll send you the catalog that I have. And also, when you receive the catalog, you have my phone number. If you ever need any help, and this is even with just email, you can write to me. If there's questions you have and I didn't make something clear coming at you, definitely fire back and let me know. And I'll try to help you where I can. Okay? So I'll see you on the next video. And I hope you got something out of this one too. We're moving on and we're making pretty good progress. We're maybe a video or two, maybe or so, before we start painting. So we're getting close, and I hope you enjoy this one. It's a neat bird, and I'm going to show you different ways of setting it up for display. Okay, so see you on the next video, and have a good one.